The journey begins. Herron. Young Pryor will take over at the 25-yard line, Herbie. And will they keep it simplified? Will they keep it reduced for him today?
I don't think so. I don't think they're going to be able to afford to do that with the ability that Oregon has to score points. I think maybe early in the game to settle him down, but at the same time, in talking to Jim Tressel, he really feels that Terrell Pryor's ability to throw the ball vertically downfield will be a big part of Ohio State's plan today against this style of Oregon defense.
Sane will open as the running back, number 3. Brandon Sane alongside Pryor. And on first down, fires middle, incomplete. Second down and 10 as we take a look at the offensive lineup of the Buckeyes presented by Taco Bell. Always good offensive line, but it's healthy today. Mike Brewster completely healthy and ready to anchor the middle. The skill players do not overlook Zach Boren. All week they have practiced circling him out of the backfield as an extra receiver. There's the screen out the side to Zanzenbacher. And it puts him in third down as we take a look at our Taco Bell defensive lineup for the Ducks. Very active, not a big defense. Tukuafu up front is an outstanding defensive end, as is Kenny Rowe. Linebackers, you remember the name Casey Matthews? Seems like every time USC played in the Rose Bowl, there was a Matthews. That secondary, keep an eye on number 2, TJ Ward, one of the best hitters in the college game. And on this third down, Pryor will take off. There's the problem he creates. Was he hobbling
yeah,
a little bit when he went out of bounds over there, Herbie?
When he made that cut. But you can see this is the problem on third down, that he can give a defense. The linebackers clear out, and Brent, you're right. Right here, I think he's already beginning to hobble a bit. And then definitely when he steps out of bounds, there's a noticeable limp here from Pryor. The cut right there to the outside. Now, he's talked about a knee bothering him. This is the first time he's had to use his legs here early in this game. We'll keep a very close eye on his status throughout the ball game, obviously.
That was a 3rd and 6, and he ran for 24. And they are throwing early and often here today. And one of the things to keep in mind as Posey, probably his most dangerous wide receiver, makes his first catch. Keep in mind that they are short-handed at the wide receiver spot. Ray Small, the senior, is not here, violation of team rules. Deron Carter, who's a fine prospect, is not here because of academics. So they are short-handed there, Herbert.
They are short-handed, but they have a lot of confidence in the young receivers that are now stepping up to replace the 2 that they've lost.
Second down, throws for another first down. Very impressively as Posey makes his second catch. Terrell Pryor may be growing up right in front of us on this Rose Bowl afternoon.
5 plays and 5 straight pass plays to open the game for Jim Tressel and Terrell Pryor. The weakness of the Oregon defense is on the perimeter. The secondary, especially at corner. If you have a quarterback that can throw the football and receivers that can make plays against this attacking defense, you can attack them through the air.
Torian Washington's an added receiver. There's that flanker screen to Zanzenbacher as they go and attack the edge, and it's good for 7 yards.
Oregon's strength as a defense is running to the football, chasing the football up close to the line of scrimmage with their speeds. They, at times, because of the lack of size in the defensive line, they're willing to get their safeties and linebackers up really close to the line of scrimmage, and it does leave them vulnerable at times to one-on-one coverage on the outside.
There's the handoff to Sane. Another first down, barges across the 15-yard line, and the Bucks rolling early as Eddie Pleasant makes the stop for Oregon.
This is an offensive lineman loves to see a passing game work because it tends to open up some creases in the running game. Brent, you talked about it. The offensive line is not only healthy now, but they come into this game with a great deal of confidence. In the last 5 games since the Purdue loss, they've averaged 258 yards a game on the ground. Good protection, incomplete.
Sanzenbacher the intended target, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. Paysinger was the defender there.
This Ohio State football team, when they get down into the red zone, you can see they've not had a lot of success. But I think a lot of that has been because of the play calling and the design of the offense that they have had been much more conservative in the last 5 games than what they've shown in this opening drive.
And Boren is to the quarterback's left. He picks up the blitzer. Fire, end zone, in and out of Posey's hands. Had a crack at it just inside the pylon.
Well, this is a matchup that Ohio State wants to try to exploit. Anytime they're going to get Devere Posey, who they feel is their most talented wide receiver, one-on-one in coverage, especially down in this area, they want to try and throw him the football. Pryor puts the ball where Posey, you would think, would be able to make that catch. One-on-one against the sophomore Anthony Gilden. He's there. He's got to hold on to the football for that touchdown.
Pryor. Sane. Touchdown, Ohio State. Aaron Petrie back. He will kick extra points and field goals here today. And does this mean that upstairs are going to take a look at this?
Yeah, they're going to take a look to see if he kept his feet in bounds after he made this catch. It looked like he was tiptoeing, but looks like his right foot did stay in bounds. And how about the toughness of Brandon Sane running right over Talmadge Jackson? He's in bounds. The close part was right here. He's got plenty of room. He goes over top of Talmadge Jackson and shows his toughness. Brandon Sane, finally healthy. He's known as a speed back, but with his health this year, he has shown the ability to run with a lot of power. How about that drive? 10 plays.
The review, ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
10 plays, 9 pass plays that were called. Ended up scrambling on one of them.
You called it.
Yeah.
Take the cellophane off the young quarterback.
That's exactly right.
So here is Petrie, back from an injury. His replacement, Devin Barkley, due to handle kickoffs here today. They were worried about his leverage in the kickoff portion of the game, but Petrie tacks on the extra point. Kenyon Barner, number 24, who is back deep against UCLA on this same field when they were struggling. Start of the second half, he took it back 100 yards. The second half kickoff for a touchdown. They exploded for 3 touchdowns in 6 plays to take charge of the Bruins on that day. Jeremiah Masoli did not quarterback Oregon on that Saturday afternoon. He was out with a knee injury, but he'll be here today. And Barner now awaits the Barkley kickoff. Here he comes. Stopped at the 26-yard line, and so, Herbie, our first look today at Masoli.
Well, I'm sure Masoli's anxious to get on the field after what Terrell Pryor and the Buckeyes did on their opening drive. It's about poise and composure. He's the X factor on this offense, ability to run the football. Ohio State is anxious to show that they can tackle and defend the running game. Much like Pryor, Masoli's going to have to make some plays also with his arm against an attacking defense.
Michael James motions out of the backfield. They go empty. And now it's Masoli's turn. Throwing underneath with blockers in front of the back for a first down. We take a look at the Taco Bell starting offensive lineup for these high-powered Oregon Ducks. Offensive line, and Jordan Holmes out of Yuba City, California. He anchors it. He's a good one. You've just seen James as a receiver. Jeff Mayo is one of those underrated wide receivers who just does the job game after game after game. And here comes Barner, who they send him in, and it is a first down for the Ducks. We take a look at the Ohio State defense, and here's the big matchup. Cameron Hayward, one of the best defensive ends in the country. The linebackers, Roll and Homan, tackling machines. In that secondary, there's Kurt Coleman, all Big Ten safety. On a first down now, Off that read option, Masole's in trouble. There is that defensive front, and Cameron Hayward, with his 6th sack of the season, rolls in on Masole.
The margin of error for this Oregon offensive line is very, very slight because of the athletic ability and size of Ohio State's defensive line. Oregon's had a lot of success in the Pac-10, but Brent, by far, this is the most talented defensive front with the depth that they have that they've faced all year.
There's the read option, and James is stopped as he crosses to about the 42-yard line.
And when you create negative plays as a defense against Chip Kelly's style of offense, it's such an option attack-oriented offense. You get them into 3rd down and long, it takes them out of their comfort zone, and it allows Ohio State to get creative or get conservative, depending on what they want to dial up here on 3rd and long.
Masole, as the play breaks down, takes off, and he'll go out of bounds, far side. Coleman closing in, and the Ducks are going to be forced to punt on their first series of this Rose Bowl.
You've got to go back to the first down play by Hayward, which ended up disrupting the rhythm of this Oregon offense. This is an offense that thrives on 2nd and 2 and 3rd and 3. You put them in 2nd and 3rd and long, and they get into big trouble.
Posey will replace Small as the return man on punts. Rice. This one could be down inside the 5. It is. Beautiful weather. A couple days ago, rained in Southern California. Cleared away. Just gorgeous. Terrell Pryor with a 7-point lead. Down, wide open, Sane. Got it. Foot race. 1st and goal. The young man who scored the touchdown. That's 46 yards with Kenny Rowe, the defender in pursuit.
They're going to slip him out of the backfield on a wheel route. Oregon again bringing pressure. One-on-one coverage with Brandon Sang with a safety. Ward, or actually the defensive end that time, dropping back into coverage is Rowe, and he's no way he's going to be able to stay with Brandon Sang. Brandon Sang, in his first 3 years at Ohio State, seems to always be slipping out of the backfield, down the sidelines on those wheel routes and showing great hands.
Wonderful tightrope work down that sideline to stay in bounds. And they're going to take a look at it upstairs. From our view, he was in bounds all the way. There was one step where he was really, really close.
Second time that Brandon Sang's been near that right boundary, trying to keep his feet in bounds. So far, is good. It's good. It's good.
Right there.
Right there's the call. Yep. It's like he's able to stay in bounds all the way down, but a great call. And how about the touch by Terrell Pryor?
The Buckeyes, meanwhile, burn a timeout to get set here with a 1st and goal, up 7. Stoneburner, bad snap, mishandled by Pryor. Tries to save it, dives forward, back to the 6. There is the 6'6", 235-pound sophomore.
Well, the athletic ability and the ability to improvise, it's one thing to catch up to him. And Oregon has the speed. That's T.J. Ward trying to bring him down along with Eddie Pleasant. It's another thing to try to bring the big fella down at 6'6", 235 pounds. Eddie Pleasant's 5'11", 207. He's got the speed, but it's a whole different argument trying to bring the big guy down.
Pryor to the 4. T.J. Ward with the stop.
It's a great job there by Oregon's defense, keeping Pryor inside and forcing him to cut up into the teeth of the defense where there's 3 or 4 more green jerseys waiting for him. You lose contain with Terrell Pryor, and he can get to the corner and into the end zone in a hurry.
They're going to spread the field a little bit. 3 wide. Posey, Sanzenbacher, and Washington checks in. Pryor cut off. Won't make it.
It's the first time we've had a chance to see Casey Matthews that time. Really nice job of getting away from the blocks. and then finally getting upfield there to be able to push Terrell Pryor down to hit big hit.
Devin Barkley will trot out now and attempt this field goal. Keep in mind that Aaron Petrie had tacked on the extra point. So we are wondering if he re-injured that knee on that extra point. This is Barkley, who had kicked off. He kicks the field goal. Barkley bobbled at the 13, and then Barner picks it up and returns it to the 42-yard line.
You look at these first couple series for Oregon, and they're in a little bit unfamiliar territory by being forced to punt the first 2 series of this game. And I think what they're going to do is maintain their poise. This is a football team that's been on the ropes in a lot of games and have found ways to win football games. And the fact that they have a leader like Jeremiah Masoli who has so much confidence is big. But I think you're going to start to see Masoli trying to get the quick passing game going and trying to challenge Ohio State more on the perimeter here, and maybe that can get the running game opened up.
Starts with an end run, and Barner on the edge comes up big. One way to defeat that big, swift defensive line, get over on the edge and make something happen.
Yeah, either you get the ball out quick with a pass or you do it on a reverse here, and Barner has the same kind of explosiveness that LaMichael James has. If he gets to the corner, again, he can get downfield in a hurry.
Here's Masoli keeping it himself. Barges across the 10-yard line.
All of a sudden, a big play by Barner and a fake to LaMichael James on the option read, and Ohio State starts to chase that because you have to respect the speed, and it leaves Masoli open.
Up-tempo, Masoli on the roll. He'll throw it away. So we have come to the end of the first quarter. We welcome you back to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, with Kirk Herbstreit and Lisa Salters. I'm Brent Musburger. We wish all of you a very happy and healthy 2010. The Oregon Ducks trail it by 10. James gets the first handoff, and he's to the 7-yard line as we open the second quarter. Right near the top of the hour, and the Buckeyes scored on their first drive and later added a field goal, Herbie.
You see Barner going in motion. Now, just the fact that he's going in motion and running a 4.440 in motion is catching the attention of the Ohio State safeties and linebackers, and it's a slight adjustment here for Oregon in the first half.
On third down, Masoli will throw for it. The end zone incomplete. He had the safety chasing a wide receiver, Mail, a little daylight, but they couldn't connect, and it'll be 4th and goal, and the field goal team for the Ducks trots onto the field.
The pressure there by Kirk Coleman was vitally important for Ohio State, because if Jeremiah Masoli has just a little bit longer, that's his favorite target in this area, Jeff Mail. And Jeff Mail definitely had a chance to get away from Chekwa there to be able to come up with that touchdown.
Nate Costa, the holder who saved the Arizona game, will put it down for Morgan Flint. 24-yarder. And the Ducks are on the scoreboard. James, who's been bottled up, slips by to the outside, and that's his most effective run of the game.
I want to mention again, after struggling in their first couple series, the adjustment is becoming pretty obvious for Chip Kelly. And a lot of times he'll tell you, it takes me 2 or 3 series to, as much film study as I do, to get a feel for what this defense might be doing, because everybody does something different. They're trying to get the ball out now on the edge with reverses and speed with LaMichael James.
Here's Masoli. Going to throw it away. Inside view.
Now, this is a zone read. You can see the mesh point there, and you can see the eyes of Masoli. He's not looking at the back. He's looking at Thaddeus Gibson for his read. Gibson takes the running back, so he keeps the football and goes right over top of Anderson Russell. That is not predetermined. That's an option read, and based on what Gibson does, dictates what the quarterback Masoli does with the ball.
3rd and 7. Flag. Illegal.
False start on the offense. Number 74. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Advantage Buckeyes in that matchup so far. Third down. Masoli is only 1 of 5 passing. He's missed his last 4. Completes it to James, but not much doing. Back at the original line of scrimmage where it'll be 4th down.
Ohio State disguising coverage, making it look like they're going to blitz and then dropping back. I think they caught Jeremiah Masoli off guard. Brian Rolle and Ross Holman both dropped back in coverage. He wanted to dump the ball underneath, had nowhere to go but to eventually dump it down to James, and there's Holman athletically in space making a play.
Going for it on 4th and 9 from just inside the Bucs 30. Masoli got it right at the 20, very close to the first down marker. Jeff Mail, the reliable one. You can see Tressel lobbying for a juggling as he went out of bounds.
Jeff Mail, Brent, you and I concur, one of the most talented receivers that probably most people outside of the Pac-10 have never heard of. He's a guy that just...
And they gave him a first down, and before they could even take another look at it upstairs, they quickly moved to James. Now, that was just a wise move on the Ducks' part, so that they were not looking at this to see if he perhaps was juggling. Clearly, the toes are in bounds. He looked like the legendary Raymond Berry working the sideline with that reception. No question about the feet. But you saw what Tressel wanted looked at, and the Ducks said, I don't think so. Back they came. Here's James. And now James seems to be finding his stride. As you take a look at what he's accomplished this year, LaMichael James averaging now 6.9 yards a carry. He has 1,476 yards on the season, Herbert.
And once you start to get your head on a swivel as a defense and you're looking to the outside, that's when they start to go back to the inside. They're constantly battling and attacking in different ways.
That's Barner. Not this time. Second down and goal. He's hit by Brian Rolle.
Brent, imagine trying to be a linebacker or a safety, and you're trying to find a way to find out where the football is. You've got a short quarterback. You've got short tailbacks. They're all running to the left and to the right. He's faking to the left. He's faking to the right.
Here comes LeGarrette Blount. First time we've seen him in this game. Number 9. The big back, powering, reaching for the end zone, and marked at the 1 by the line judge. Third down and goal. And the reason, of course, Herbie, a lot of people say, why did they make such a big thing out of this? This is the young man who was suspended following the Boise State game when he threw that punch and decked a Boise State player.
Brent, I think this might be a touchdown. Does his body ever touch the ground? I mean, he's landing on top of Kurt Coleman. He runs right over top of him. Does his knee ever touch, or is he landing on Ohio State defenders as he stretches the ball across to try to get it into the end zone? Coleman has the courage to step in front of LeGarrette Blount, but Blount looks like he extends the football across the plane there before his knee touched.
So the replay official upstairs from the Big 12 Conference is taking a look at it.
I think he's just on top of both Coleman and Ross Holman there.
Watch this replay now and watch the knees as he goes up on the 2 Buckeye defenders. Does not appear to touch the ground. So LeGarrette Blount became a father during the fall, has been kept away from the media by the coach, was reinstated, and delivered a huge touchdown for the Ducks in the Civil War against Oregon State. And he presents another kind of a problem for Jim Tressel's defense, the power back, that inside runner, and we just got a glimpse of it.
You know, you talk about LeGarrette Blount. Go back to the Oregon State game, 9 carries, 51 yards. Did most of his damage in the red zone area. He's a change of pace back, and because of his power, he's a great complement to Jeremiah Masoli, LaMichael James, and Kenyon Barner.
After further review, the runner was on top of players and was not declared down until he got into the end zone. It'll be a touchdown.
To say it bluntly, he's a load. Morgan Flynn. Brand new deck of cards has been broken out. And the Buckeyes say deal. Sane. LeGarrette Blount got us even. Let's go down for more from Lisa.
Well, Brandon, very happy LeGarrette Blount over here on the Oregon sideline. Remember that Chip Kelly originally suspended Blount for the entire season after that punch. And we asked Chip Kelly about that, and he said, number one, I did that because there is no manual on how to handle a situation like that. And he said, number two, I didn't want to suspend him indefinitely because I wanted to make sure that he was doing everything the right way, coming to practice, staying in school, going to class, not for some promise that he would be back with the team, but because that's the kind of guy he is, and that's what we wanted him to do.
Lisa, thank you. Is Terrell Pryor and the Buckeyes take over on their own 20. Pryor complete to the 24-yard line. Herron.
9 pass plays, 8 of them. Terrell Pryor ended up throwing. He was 5 of 8 on that opening drive. Wouldn't be surprised to see Terrell Pryor at Ohio State try to open things back up.
And that is Herron being jumped. And so Nick Aliotti, who has been the defensive coordinator at Oregon for 18 years, is up there with the sunglasses on, looking down, made some adjustments, Herbie, with that defense, and he's been able to shut them down ever since that opening drive.
Yeah, the big thing that he wants to do, he wants to continue to force Pryor to prove that he can throw the football. And because they're a bit undersized up front, they're attacking the line of scrimmage with the safeties and putting 8, sometimes 9, to try to slow down the Ohio State running game.
Herron, first down, Ohio State.
You look at Boom Herron and Brandon Sane this year for Ohio State, really doing a good job of fighting through some injuries that have slowed him down a bit at times, but mainly it's been the combination of having them both back there. Both surprise you, even though they're a bit undersized, have tremendous power to go along with the quickness.
Pryor, incomplete. Sanzenbacher, the target.
Jim Tressel, I think, sensing Oregon's ability to score. When you see Jim Tressel throwing on 1st and 10, I think it's the respect that he has for Oregon's offense, and also he's seeing a defense that isn't respecting his passing game. So I said this at the beginning of the game before there was a ball thrown. Pryor today is going to have to show his ability to read defenses and throw the football.
Herron to the 37-yard line, and it will be 3rd down and manageable. Boyette with the stop. Pryor will take off. Penalty flag.
Personal foul, face mask, and a defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Brandon Bear, the nose guard, 88, actually lines up like he's going to rush, and then he drops. And he's right there to make a play. It's going to be 4th down. Ohio State's going to punt. Boy, it looked like he just touched the face mask there. Wow, he's in perfect position. They actually rushed 2 and dropped 9 that time on 3rd down and long. In position to make the play and force the punt.
Aliotti stands up for a better look as the Bucks come across midfield after the penalty. 1st and 10. Before the snap, there was movement.
False start on the offense. Number 76, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Shugarts, the right tackle.
When Pryor has his receivers in one-on-one coverage, especially Sazzenbacher off to his right in the slot, and Posey, he's got to hit him.
Pryor. Posey. Back to the original line of scrimmage there on the just across midfield.
You know, one of the things, Brent, that Terrell Pryor has to, I think, going to have to be able to do today is come off of his primary receiver. I think Oregon saw a lot of film this in their preparation for this bowl game, that if you can take away Terrell Pryor's primary receiver, he has a tendency to get happy feet and starts to panic a bit, and that's what they're trying to do to try to create some pressure.
Pryor drops it off, but nothing doing. Herron eaten up on the play by Michael Clay.
Michael Clay waited to be able to make this play. It's too easy for Clay to read this. It was slow developing. It was a little bit of just kind of like a shot put of a screen pass where he got it over the defensive line, but because he floated it up in the air, Clay had all day to come in and take down Boom Herron. It was poor execution that time on a screen on second down and long.
Pryor. Complete. First down Buckeyes across the 25-yard line. Running back Danny Herron. And that time Pryor was very aware that he was not across the line of scrimmage, that it was a legal pass. He took a peek.
Brent, this time you're going to see Terrell Pryor drop back, and look how he's looking off to his left. He wants to throw the ball to his left to DeVere Posey. The receiver is taken away, so he buys enough time and eventually finds Boom Herron. Good job of showing patience that time by Pryor.
Posey to the 25-yard line, and it will be second and short after the 9-yard gain.
Well, Posey's the big play threat in the Ohio State receiving corps. Because of his size, he's a great target at 6'3", about 205 pounds, but he's sneaky and deceptive, and he's going to try to get behind this man-to-man coverage, and Pryor loves to throw it to him downfield.
Sane. First down, Ohio State. Pryor's 12 of 17. Penalty flag. Thrown on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Legal shift on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Pryor. Beautiful grab at the 20-yard line. That was Posey working his way across.
Tukuafu comes right across the vision there. You can also see that Spencer Paysinger gets pressure. Pryor puts that football and hopes that his man Posey can come up with it, and because of the strength of his hands, he's able to pull that away from the defender. A lot of movement right now from the Oregon defensive line, twisting and stunning, confusing Ohio State up front.
Pryor, short of the first down. He just got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a third down as Paysinger makes the stop.
Here comes more movement. This time they bring the two linebackers and they twist them right into the teeth of the Ohio State offensive line, and eventually Paysinger gets there. Ohio State again struggling with the movement and the pressure that Oregon's putting on Terrell Pryor.
So Oregon burns a timeout. Pryor in a foot race. Trying to bang his way for the first down. Close.
Now they're going to play man-to-man coverage here, and one of the dangers of playing man is if the quarterback ends up taking off. Now they've got a linebacker assigned to Terrell Pryor along with his safety, and eventually the safety Ward catches up to him. But I'll tell you, that's a very, very tough thing to ask a safety or linebacker to stay with Terrell Pryor on third and long.
He's going for it.
He's going for it. We were kidding at the break. If they're playing Indiana or Minnesota, he's probably kicking a field goal.
First down. Sane to the 10-yard line.
And I say that because of the respect he has for Oregon's offense. He knows in this area he's got to be able to come up with 7 points, and he's willing to take that chance. The offensive line felt the challenge and got a great push there off to the right side.
Well designed. Tressel sent Boren over on the wing. Sane took a little stutter step in that direction, then cut up the middle. Beautifully designed play. First down and goal. Pryor, end zone, got a man, incomplete. Pryor, Sanzenbacher. They lose. Back to the 19. It'll be third down. Boyette, the defender. Number 20, the freshman from Napa, California.
But Oregon catches a break here because it took until the very last second for the defense to make the adjustment. There was 3-on-2. Ohio State had an advantage, but they do such a good job at getting off the blocks. See young Cliff Harris making a good job, and John Boyette's there to finish off the play.
18th play of this Buckeye drive coming up. High, incomplete, and now they will send the field goal unit out onto the team. Out over the field, I should say.
That's actually very, very good coverage that time by Javis Lewis, who's on Posey, and plenty of time, pretty good protection. You can see how Terrell Pryor is very uneasy when he has to step up into the middle of that offensive line, but Lewis, stride for stride, all over Posey that time to bat the ball away.
Devin Barkley, who has played in the Rose Bowl 3 times, but as a soccer player in the MLS, not as a football player. He will attempt this field goal, and from 30 yards, Barkley, who won the Iowa game with a dramatic 39-yarder, puts the Bucks back ahead in the Rose Bowl. And Oregon wants in this situation.
Yeah, and the game early was favoring Ohio State with the way their offense came out. The defense was playing very well, and Chip Kelly and the Ducks made some great adjustments. They got the momentum. They tied the game up. And now I look at this with a minute to go, about minute 5 to go. One timeout. They're not known for their ability to throw the football, but do not count them out in being able to score.
Let me correct myself. I dated myself. They're no longer the Rowdies. They're the Mutiny.
Oh, thank goodness.
Barkley with the ball on the tee. Short kickoff. Fielded at the 24-yard line. Down at the 31. Harris ball came out. Scrum is going on. And they say he is down. You see the one official pointing quickly at the ground. Buckeyes claim they have the football. Well, they might at the bottom of the pile, but I think the one official is signaling that he was down.
But he got hit hard. Cliff Harris, the young true
freshman. The ruling on the field is the runner's knee was down with possession before the ball came loose. First down, Oregon.
Brian Roll looks like he's the first one down, the starting middle linebacker. Number 36 gets in, hits him high. Ball comes out, but his knee is down before, so Oregon catches a break there. It looked like his left hip actually was down. See what Masoli can do here with about a minute to go, with timeout left.
Tressel may have signaled that he wants him to take another look at it. He brought a couple of officials over to the sideline. I think it was clear to the replay official upstairs.
He just called a timeout from the bench.
Timeout, Ohio State. Third and final in the first half. 30-second timeout.
So he's giving the replay official more time to take a further look at him. And Herbie, you were pretty clear that you thought that he was down before the ball came out.
Yeah, it looked like his left hip as he was sliding touched, and then the football came out.
Herbie, I want to ask you about Buckeye mood and the fan base and everything. You know, for years, having won the national championship, but as of late, they have struggled in big game, BCS games that they have lost, championship games to Florida and LSU. What's the feeling? What's the mood of this Buckeye team?
Well, I think coming into this game, much like it was against USC in the regular season the last 2 years and against Texas in last year's Fiesta Bowl, they're anxious to show that they can play in the big games and play with the great teams in college football.
Incomplete. It'll be second down and 10.
I think the thing that is fascinating that people don't understand about Oregon is they have a chance with a top 12 finish this year to finish this decade with 5 top 12 finishes.
Masoli into Buckeye territory. So Masoli comes back to 2-A, and that's a 23-yard gain, and they've got inside of a minute to work with and 1 timeout. Stops the clock out of bounds as they work underneath.
Great job of getting out of bounds by James. And if you're not familiar with Jeremiah Masoli and his Oregon offense, and you hear a lot about their zone read and their option attack, he has a quick release, a strong arm. He's making good decisions this year by throwing the football. Make a little adjustment to the game clock, but he can get the ball downfield in a hurry with the strength of his arm. Ed Dickson and Jeff Mail, his 2 favorite targets.
38 seconds for Masoli through behind the receiver. He had a vertical runner open, and that was big Ed Dickson, who's been quiet so far.
Yeah, again, the seam routes is the way that Oregon really likes to try to exploit zone coverage. They sent 2 guys that time right at Kirk Coleman to make him make a decision on Jeff Mayo or Ed Dickson.
Masoli deflected, intercepted at the 35-yard line by Homan. Homan stops the drive right there, and now it is the Bucks who have 25 seconds remaining.
And give Doug Worthington an assist there. The big defensive lineman, this time at 6'6", right in the middle of the defense, going up against Mark Asper. Gets his hand up, knocks the ball loose. And how about the instincts by Holman? His 5th interception on the year. And not only does he make the catch, but he shows his high school tailback days by getting upfield and picking up some valuable yardage.
Pryor with a deep drop. Waits, and throws it away. Sane was in the area. So it will be second down with 19 seconds remaining.
And that is the area where young Terrell Pryor is going to have to improve the most. When people elect not to pressure and just sit back with 8 guys in zone and make him read and decipher and recognize different coverages and make good decisions on time, that's the area that he needs, in my opinion, to improve the most.
Pryor comes back. Sanzenbacher, that's a first down. It'll stop it quickly. They're moving into field goal range. That's a 25-yard gain. And they will stop it. So with 10 seconds, they'd like one more play just a little bit closer. Pryor, got to keep the clock in mind. He throws it away. Here we come. This is a 45-yarder for the Bucks following the interception.
Chip Kelly came in with a timeout.
Chip Kelly coached very successfully at New Hampshire. He has about 45 of his buddies from New England who are here. So yesterday he said, I'll give you a half hour from 5 to 5:30. Don't bother me. I'll see you after the game. What do they call themselves, his friends? Well, they're the New England Ducks, and they're here today rooting for the former great coach of the New Hampshire team.
He's very proud of those ties. You know, he's upset right now with the officials because he thought the previous play where Pryor just threw it away, that the ball didn't get across the line of scrimmage.
It has to hit something over there before.
That's what he was.
That's why Colt McCoy was so successful in the Big 12 championship. On its way. There's that big leg. Petrie. And the Bucks pick up 3 more as the result of Holman's interception. Coach Tressel is with Lisa.
Thank you, Brent. Coach, you started off the game with 6 consecutive passing plays, a lot less conservative than we've seen in the recent past. How come?
Well, we feel as if we have to be balanced, and Oregon's a good football team, and we're going to have to be at our best run and pass, and as you can see, this is going to be a heck of a game.
Terrell Pryor, 15 for 24, 149 yards in that first half. Also 31 yards rushing the ball. What does that do for his confidence, having so much success running and throwing?
Well, he knows that it's a long battle to go, so hopefully he'll keep making good decisions, and he can make some big plays with his arm and his
Brought
feet.
to you by Home Depot.
Well, Oregon has decided coming into this football game that they're going to crowd the line of scrimmage to try to negate Pryor's scrambling and his running ability along with his backs. Well, it leaves the receivers one-on-one in coverage. So Pryor's had already 24 pass attempts in the first half. Here's a great example in the first half of him coming off of his primary receiver, buying a little bit of time with a scramble, and then eventually Boom Herron gets separation from Eddie Pleasant, the outside linebacker, and it gives Pryor a chance to be effective throwing the football. But 24 attempts in the first half when he's only had 17 attempts per game in the last 3 games.
Here's a shocking stat. The Buckeyes had the football for 22 of the first 30 minutes of this football game. Ducks did not count on that.
No, they did not count on that, and Chip Kelly would tell you, hey, we're very confident that we can score in a hurry, but Jim Tressel knows one of the best ways to stop Jeremiah Masoli is for Terrell Pryor and his offense to be able to maintain possession, to keep Masoli on the sideline where he can't do so much damage.
Well, we shall find out right away because the Ducks get the ball first here in the second half. They won the toss and elected to defer, so it will be Oregon football. Fielded on the 7-yard line by Barner. Barner got a gap. Barner explodes, and he is out to the 46-yard line. Let's check in with Lisa.
Well, Brenda, just talking to Chip Kelly, he said, hey, our mission is simple. Terrell Pryor is the guy who's going to beat us. We've got to contain him. He said, but we do have him figured out. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, we know what he's going to do. Our guys are getting to him. And then he laughed. He said, we just got to tackle him. He's a big son of a gun. Guys.
That 39-yard return gives his offense.
That's right.
Good field position here to open the second half. James bounces. Crosses midfield before Russell wrestles him down.
That looks more like the LaMichael James that we saw all season in the Pac-10. Brett, that's what you talked about, the time of possession. The way Ohio State's been able to hold on to the football and try to keep Masoli off to the sideline.
Come now the other side. And the Buckeyes jump on it. Hines was in on that play, along with Gibson, who made the initial stop on the running back.
But you're going to see Doug Worthington as well really work hard, and that's something that the defensive line has to do. It's one thing to try to get penetration against this offense, but also when they go to the outside, you got to push your blocker to the sideline.
Down the near sideline, one-on-one penalty. That'll go against the Buckeyes. Chekwa. Chekwa was defending Mail, and a flag came.
Pass interference on a defense, number 5. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
There is not face guarding in college football, but as a defender, if you do not turn your head and try to locate the football, they are going to call pass interference every single time on you. So it's not necessarily about how much contact he made or he didn't make. Anytime an official doesn't see that head turning back and you attempting to get to the football, they're going to call it.
Masoli has to throw this away because Jermail Hines was all over it. Calling a sensational game defensively for the Buckeyes.
Well, we've talked a lot about Jim Tressel being aggressive on the offensive side, but Brent, we're also seeing it from Jim Haycock and Luke Fickell dialing up blitzes. And again, they're trying to mix up the looks to try to slow down Masoli.
Hands it off straight ahead. This will be 3rd down and long. And this is the situation that Haycock's defense wants over and over and over again.
Might be Brent Jordan Holmes there. The center looked like he was struggling to...
That's a big
yes,
loss.
It is.
The anchor. We've got a 6-point game. Big 3rd down and 8 yards. And the Ducks are 0 for 5 on third.
Brent, we were just talking at the break. You might be saying, why on third down are they running the football? It's because Chip Kelly, with a field goal kicker, Morgan Flint, that has a long of 43 this year, he's thinking about this is 4-down territory. So on third down, let's get as close as we can to try to set up a conversion here on fourth down.
Empty backfield. Masoli throws for the first down. They're to the red zone. And that's the second catch of the day for Tuinei.
This is a great call here by Chip Kelly, getting the ball out to the left flat. Ohio State in man coverage. Nobody left there to pick up Tuinei. The defenders went to the inside. A good read by Masoli to throw the ball to the outside.
There is James and nothing doing. Bucks were ready. Holman leading the charge. He intercepted a pass late in the first half, which led to the final Ohio State field goal.
Oregon with this hurry-up offense.
On second down, pump fake. Now he's got to come to the side. That was dangerous because it was red off the pump by Hines, who was stepping in to the flat. Dixon, the intended receiver.
Well, I think Jeremiah Masoli and Jeff Mayo might have miscommunicated there, because I think Masoli recognized that Ohio State had the play very well defended, and he wanted to give it a pump fake and try to get the ball downfield to Jeff Mayo, who was actually blocking downfield.
Barner had a big 37-yard play earlier. He motions out. He'll be the receiver. From the 21, he's got the first and goal to the 6-yard line. So Kenyon Barner, the freshman from Riverside, California, delivers again.
And a great block by Carson York, the left guard. He gets just enough of Ross Holman to give the back this time, Barner, enough room to accelerate upfield. Nice block that time, Carson York.
So they convert a fourth down and now a third down. So it'll be second down from the 4. Barner stays on the field. Holman with the stop.
Well, this defensive line doing a very good job of getting penetration consistently in the backfield to try to slow down Masoli, and he's doing a good job of being able to offset that with the speed.
Touchdown, Oregon. Barner. No, hold on. The line judge says he was down at the 1. Line judge had a perfect view of it down the line. I'm sure they'll take a second look at it, and LeGarrette Blount quickly checks in. And here is the hammer. Masoli keeps it. Masoli for the score.
Brent, me and you and the Ohio State defense thought, as you said, the hammer had the football, because the tendency is when Jeremiah Masoli has LeGarrette Blount in the backfield inside the 5-yard line, the big guy has it, right? No, Ohio State thought so. Masoli keeps it and gets through Brian Roll and into the end zone.
Morgan Flint. And the Ducks lead for the first time today in this Rose Bowl. Jeremiah Masoli. They convert a fourth down. They convert a third down. And then Masoli takes it in for 6. Beard kicks it away. Buckeyes first possession of the second half. And Herron. And there's a penalty flag at the 41-yard line.
During a return, holding number 16 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Brent, going back to that touchdown, and I think we all thought again that the big guy would get it. The read is right here. And Jeremiah Masoli is simply going to watch Cameron Hayward. If Hayward comes down and takes the big back Blount away, which he does, he pulls the football out. So again, not predetermined. He's just reading Hayward's body language. He came down on Blount, pulled the ball out, and then again shows how physical he can be running over top of Brian Roll.
running play was Sane to the 24-yard line, picking up 4 on first down.
Jim Tressel telling Lisa Salters as he came off the field before the half, Lisa said, you know, why are we seeing Terrell Pryor throw 24 times? And his answer was, well, we need balance against this Oregon defense. Because they're crowding the line, we have to mix some things up. And how about this for balance? They have 49 plays, 24 runs, and 25 passes.
Flanker screen. Sanzenbacher's got the first down for the Buckeyes.
You get the football out fast like that, you've got to rely on the receivers to be able to stalk block. And Torian Washington that time, along with DeVere Posey, a good job of holding on and maintaining their blocks. And that time, Sanzenbacher has tremendous quickness, gets upfield for that first down.
Second down and 8. Play fake by Pryor, rolls to the left. Throws down to Posey, got it! At the 29-yard line, DeVere Posey.
Let's take a look at the DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. A great throw, and Terrell Pryor in rhythm. Rolling out to his left, he gathers himself, and he throws his football before DeVere Posey has a chance to even make his break to the sideline. Put the ball right in position, well-timed, and a great throw. You can see the chemistry that time between Pryor and DeVere Posey.
36 yards. Pryor rolls the other way, and now he's red hot. Sanzenbacher at the 25, blasted out of bounds by Harris.
Well, the young freshman came up and made a play here, even though he gave up some yards. Letting Sanzenbacher know about it.
Terrell Pryor has thrown for 198 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. And he has been feeling it, rolling to the left and now coming back to the right on the move. Sane tries to get the first down, and he's pushed out of bounds very close to it. It'll be a third down and very short.
Time the young freshman fullback Zach Boren trying to lead the way. It's getting kind of physical and a bit chippy. It's been a little chippy the entire game when Oregon's defense and the Ohio State offense have been going back and forth.
Comes Sane for the first down. Casey Matthews, number 55, is in there in that stop. What a familiar name to you Rose Bowl fans. This is the 5th straight Rose Bowl that a member of the Matthews family has played. That's right. Kyle and Clay for USC. Today, Casey with the Ducks. Of course, his father was a great player at USC, and he only played 19 years in the NFL. Then his uncle, Bruce, he also played in the Bulls. So how about this family connection? The family Matthews and the Rose Bowl. First down and 10. Read option, and the Ducks read it better than the Bucks.
Well, they see that every day in practice. They're gonna read that in a hurry. Anytime you go up against your own offense in spring ball and in two-a-days, you're pretty familiar with another offense that has the audacity to run some form of the zone read. And Terrell Pryor's in no man's land. He wanted to pull the ball out, and Brandon Sane wanted to take it, and eventually he just had to let go before there was possibly a fumble.
Second down and long. Pryor, Sanzenbacher holds on. Ripped at the 13, incomplete.
John Boyette does a good job, and all-out blitz by Oregon. Ohio State picks up, but there's one extra man that they can't account for. Pryor has to account for him by getting rid of the football. Boyette goes low, and Sanzenbacher lucky to get up from that hit. It's about the only thing Boyette could do was have heavy contact to try to separate Sazonbacher from the football.
What a great hit. Third and 13. Pryor fires behind the receiver. Misread. Sazonbacher cutting to the post, and Pryor threw behind him.
They had what they wanted, one-on-one matchup, and Pryor trying to get the ball out early. I think you could tell by the throw was anticipating Sazonbacher maybe staying up closer to the middle of the field. But Dane must have seen the coverage that he had to break it off a little bit early.
The Bucs have 3 field goals today. Here's Devin Barkley attempting to make their 4th and regain the lead. It's a 38-yarder. And Ohio State regains the lead. The Ohio State Buckeyes, who lead at 19-17, 13:03 remaining, up under center. Herron for a couple of yards.
Terrell Pryor coming into the game the last 3 games, only attempting 17 attempts tonight, 19 of 32. And you can see if you look left to right, he is really spreading it out. Jim Tressel wanted balance, not just with play calling. And he's at 33 passes and 33 runs, by the way, right now, but also left to right, spreading the ball around.
LaMichael James reemerges from the Oregon locker room, and he is suited up. It looks like he'll be ready to go on the next series. 2nd down and 8. Pryor takes off, breaks the tackle, got the first down. The athleticism of number 2.
Terrell Pryor, Oregon knew that this is one of the things they had to contain and take away from Ohio State. He doesn't always see the field well, especially his middle field reads. He doesn't trust it, and he comes off of it. Eddie Pleasant, a very fast linebacker, is right there. He's got to be able to make that play. Pryor cuts back behind him and is able to pick up the first down. It's a blitz.
Hands it off to Herron.
Going back to Nick Aliotti, the defensive coordinator from Oregon. Have to be able to stop Terrell Pryor from scrambling and creating. Not that he's hurt him a lot tonight, but just enough on certain downs.
Pryor rolling to the right. Sazonbacher short of the first down.
The thing that's probably surprised Nick Aliotti and Oregon's defense, maybe more than even you and I and everybody watching this game, is that Terrell Pryor is 20 of 33 pass attempts from an offense that's been very conservative since their loss to Purdue.
Dominating the clock.
Keeping the Sully on the sideline.
Pryor, first down, Sazonbacher.
It's a great throw by Pryor, but Oregon actually gives him the passing lane. They walk their linebacker up, Casey Matthews, 55, and you can see him there in your picture. When he walked up to show blitz, he didn't get back in time, and it made it very easy for Pryor to find a passing lane to get the ball to Dane Sazonbacher, who was going up against soft coverage on 3rd down.
Pryor, backside down. And he was hit by Kenny Rowe, who is just an outstanding defensive player. Terrific pickup speed.
Oh, Kenny Rowe, what a night tonight for the Oregon Duck defensive end. Going up against Jim Cordell at the top. Watch again. It's the effort. Number 58, the 3rd time tonight he's been able to catch up to Terrell Pryor, and it's been because of his attitude. He just won't stop. And Brandon Baird gives his best to Terrell along with Rowe.
2nd and 12. Pryor slips and he's down. Comes third down for the Bucs. Lead it by 2. 9.5 minutes. Jake Ballard been very quiet. There's a tight end here tonight. Is released into a few pass patterns, mainly used as a blocker. Sanzenbacher will go into the slot. Herron is the running back. Pryor slips away, throws it in the air, caught, and there's our man Ballard. Right on cue, Jake Ballard.
Jake Ballard, Brent, you called it 6'6", able to go up and make a play. It looked like Pryor had just thrown it up into coverage. I think the Ducks thought they had a great shot to go up and take this ball away, but the former high school basketball star makes the play.
Now they come back, and Sanzenbacher can't hang on. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 as the Bucs try to pick the tempo up a little bit.
About Ballard going up in the air to make that catch.
Well, Herbert, you put your point out. It was like a basketball player.
Springboro High School, one of the great high school basketball players, his senior year in the state of Ohio, and he looked like that going up.
Didn't he, though?
Bringing down a board.
Second and 10. Herron trying to follow the left side. Cordell and Justin Boren, transfer from Michigan, on that left side.
This will be interesting for Jim Tressel on 3rd down, because tonight he's gone against his tendencies. He's up by 2. Tressel ball would call for a run here to keep it in the middle of the field and have confidence in your kicker, Petrie, to come out and kick a field goal. This is within his range. But tonight he's kind of gone against the grain. Will he put Pryor in a position to take a chance and throw the football?
Penalty flag. Steps across that marker, but this one could be coming back.
Offside on the defense.
On the defense.
Penalties declined. First off.
I think it was the nose guard that time. Brandon Bear, who was trying to get a jump on the ball. Yeah, I mean, that's a great call. Brewster's able to get the ball up, but we saw this earlier, how physical he can be. This is a safety. He throws him to the Rose Bowl turf and picks up yards for a 1st down.
Hands it off, and Herron pounds to the middle. Now we're seeing a little bit of Tressel balls. He brings down that clock, tries to keep the pressure on the Ducks here, tries to keep it moving on the ground.
That's what he's about. You know, he's always playing the odds in his favor. Plays very, very smart. These kind of games, you touched on it earlier, this is his comfort zone. And it wouldn't bother him at all to kick a field goal here and to put him up by 5 and force the Ducks to eventually have to go down and score a touchdown.
They've kicked 4 field goals and scored 1 touchdown on their first series of the game. He throws, end zone, Posey, touchdown, Ohio State.
Previous plays under further review.
It's interesting. Posey was the young man who was in the exact same position earlier in the game, and he ended up dropping a potential touchdown pass. This time, a tougher catch. The ball is perfectly thrown to his backside shoulder, and he makes the catch. It's a matter of checking out to see his feet. He's man-to-man against Anthony Gilden. Does he bobble the ball? It's a touchdown.
Looks like a catch to me.
Further
Bill
review.
Bedell.
Receiver maintained possession. Touchdown.
Congratulations, guys, and Happy New Year.
And more to come January 7th.
Petrie tacks on the extra point. Could this be the Buckeyes' comeback night in a BCS Bowl? We're about to find out. And Pryor's going to keep it. it's on the far side, which I know that Terrell would have preferred to stay in bounds, but the angle on him made it almost mandatory for the quarterback to step out. I know you're someone who's down below, Herbie, who is as overjoyed watching this. Jim Tressel made sure that he came out here with former coach Earl Bruce, and that's Steve Snap, long time, great SID at Ohio State, came up to the box. He's been struggling a little bit with his health lately, and I couldn't have been happier to see Steve Snap here. Would not have seemed like a Rose Bowl with the Buckeyes of Ohio State without Steve in attendance. So I know he's counting down the 241 now. First down.
A comfort zone for Jim Tressel, like a python, just slowly squeezing.
You see this all the time, right?
You think he's tired of hearing about 3 straight losses in BCS bowl games? It's not over yet.
That game plan crumpled in his hand. First down and 10, and Herron pounced right ahead. You know, one of the questions that we were asked about before the start of the game, and it's I think it's really a good one, Herbie, was is the Buckeye defense. You know, there's all this talk when the Big Ten struggle in bowl games, and specifically Ohio State. They're not fast enough for these flashy teams from the SEC and the Pac-10 and the Big 12. Are they fast enough to stay with the Ducks? They have proved beyond a shadow of doubt. You know, all you have to do is look around the NFL, folks. There are plenty of Buckeye players out there. Santonio Holmes certainly comes to my mind. They can flat move. I mean, that was never the primary issue.
No, but when you show up flat and uninspired in any bowl game, you're going to get exposed in certain areas. And I think the knee-jerk reaction to say, oh, they're not very fast, they can't run. You're right. You go down the list of NFL rosters, maybe USC, maybe Miami of Florida, but Ohio State doesn't take a back seat. So it's not about individual talent. And this will go a long way in helping to show people they can play.
And here's the MVP of the night, Terrell Pryor. He just put the trophy away with that little bootleg for 12 more yards.
And I think it's a sign of things to come in the 2010 season for Ohio State, a team that returns the majority of this football team back. You're going to see Terrell Pryor put in this kind of offense with Jim Tressel trusting him more and being willing to attack both running the football and throwing the football. It's a big night for Pryor and his growth. There's no doubt about that.
Look at what Terrell Pryor has done himself against that fabulous Oregon offense. And this game was not played at the Duck pace right from the beginning. It looked like a lower scoring game than many people thought. We're sitting on, what now, 43 total? And like I said, the last 6 or 7 games, the Ducks have been in the 60s. But tonight, the Ohio State D rules, and a point I want to make before we keep praising the Buckeyes, and they deserve it. 18 Oregon starters are coming back next year, including Masoli.
Absolutely.
So for Oregon Duck fans, I know it's a tremendously unhappy afternoon right now, but I think this team will be the preseason choice to win the Pac-10, and they could well wind up, well, they're certainly going to be in the top 10. Right?
Totally agree. Totally agree. And with Masoli coming back and James, much like Ohio State, most of that nucleus is back.
Watch the vest, baby. Here it comes.
Yes.
Where are those rascals? I know they're lurking back there.
It's not over. It's not over yet.
He won't let him do it. Oh, no! But he'll look at that clock and say, what's with you guys? There's 40 seconds, but he couldn't resist a big hug with Coleman. And the all Big Ten safety. What a day for the conference. Not just Ohio State. Penn State beats LSU. Northwestern goes to overtime with Auburn. But the Buckeyes rule. Put that gorilla away in the closet. You remember what Chip said before this game? Coach Tressel gets it.
Absolutely.
touchdown in the first quarter and a touchdown in the fourth quarter. And field goals in between. Time of possession tonight, folks. 41-37 for Ohio State in this game. Let's go down to Coach Tressel with Lisa.
Thanks, Brent. Coach, I just saw you had a nice long word with Chip Kelly. What did you say to him?
Well, you know, I have so much respect for Chip. Worked his way up through the 1AA ranks, and us 1AA guys stick together, and, you know, just enjoyed spending a week with him. I really didn't know him before this week very much. You know, he runs a good program. He has got a good team, and there's no question he's a good one.
All week long, I've been hearing that you were handcuffing Terrell Pryor. He was only able to hand off the ball. If that's true, what were you doing with him tonight?
Well, you were listening to the wrong people then, whoever you were hearing that from. You know, we've done what we thought we should do in various situations, and thought Terrell did a heck of a job tonight.
What did he prove to people tonight, Terrell Pryor?
Well, that we won the Rose Bowl, but now we have to go play the next game. So it's huge, though. You know, to win the Rose Bowl is unbelievable.
So much was said about their up-tempo offense. Wasn't much of a factor tonight. How were you able to slow them down?
Well, we have an up-tempo defense, and they run, and they hit, and they prepare. And it was a good game. Don't take anything away from Oregon. This was a good team. This was number 7 against number 8.
I asked you before the game, what does this win mean for the Big Ten and Ohio State?
Well, it's a big thing. We hadn't won the Rose Bowl for a while, and we'd lost a couple chances to play in it because we were playing somewhere else, and this was huge.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Congratulations. Brent.
Lisa, the Buckeyes have won their 7th Rose Bowl overall. Jim Tressel once came here as an assistant coach back in the 80s. But now, for the first time as a head coach, he comes away with a victory in the Rose Bowl. Their last win here, Herbie, was the game we've talked about back in '97. They beat Jake Plummer in Arizona State. Joe Germain, the honorary captain for the Buckeyes here tonight. He brought them good luck, my friend.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Just listening to Jim Tressel there and seeing his face, seeing not so much the relief, but how proud he is of his team and his program. They've endured a lot. The BCS losses, the losses to USC, and I think they've kind of stuck to their guns and shown people across the country that they can play with the best teams in college football, and that was a great performance by not just Terrell Pryor, but Jim Tressel and the way he got this team ready.
Speaking with Terrell, he is with Lisa. Lisa.
Very much, Brent. Terrell, we talked about this earlier. You were hearing all week long about how you were not a complete quarterback. What did you show people tonight?
You know, I just wanted to lead the team as well as I can. You know, and the defense helped out, and they gave us the best situation. And you know, I just thank God, you know, giving me talents like this, and just got to keep going forward.
What was the key to your success?
That boy.
What was the key, not just to you being able to run the ball, but to pass effectively as well?
Our coaches did a great job of game planning against them, and we knew them up and down. We knew everything they were going to do when they were coming with their blitzes and stuff like that. And you know, I just wanted to come out and to show the world that I could be a complete quarterback too.
For a guy like you who's had his ups and downs all season long, you're just a sophomore. What does this win mean to you?
It's just big. Anytime we get a W, it's big, you know. And I just thank God, you know, he just gave me the talents. Like I said again, I'm just very thankful, and I love my teammates, and go Bucks.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, guys.
Terrell was 23 of 37 for 266 yards and a touchdown in the first and the fourth quarter. He did have 1 interception. Oh, yes, he was also the Bucs' leading rusher with 72 yards.
On behalf of the Tournament of Roses, I'm very proud to present you with the Leishman Trophy as the Rose Bowl champions. Congratulations. Congratulations, guys.